There was a time when summer surprised us, when galleries opened minds, adventures opened hearts, and we all remained open to whatever the day might offer. It was a time to enjoy. It was summer, this summer, at Biltmore. Plan your visit or overnight stay so you can enjoy the marvelous works of Chihuly and savor the season. Reserve now at Biltmore.com.
Save big this summer with great deals, all in the Kroger app.
Get select varieties of Powerade or Body Armor Super Drinks for 79 cents each. Then get 2-pound packs of juicy strawberries for $3.77 each, all with your card and a digital coupon.
Shop these deals at your local Kroger, less than 5 miles away. Or tap the screen now to download the Kroger app to save big today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Prices and product availability subject to change. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hashtag no music, no intro. A Sunday night episode of the Saints Block Party podcast. Thank you for joining. Earlier today, I was just like, you know what? We recorded a podcast episode on Monday. It's Sunday. I have an idea for an episode. Hit up Ryan about recording, and we're recording. So thank y'all for joining us. I know it's 10 o'clock where Ryan is on the Central Time. It's 11 o'clock Eastern, but it's the off season. However, training camp's right around the corner. Along with training camp being around the corner, we have the release of College Football 25. If you have a PS5, if you have an Xbox, if you want to be a part of the Saints Block Party podcast, College Football Dynasty, which means that the online dynasty can hold up to 30 human players in one dynasty. So I believe right now, off the top of my head, I think we have like 5 or 6 people in the dynasty. You do need to be a Patreon if you want to join. Of course, I'm taking Texas Tech, trying to lead them to prominence. G has Utah. Or was it Utah State? Utah. So it'll be a fun time. We're gonna stream the games, Twitch them. So get on that if you can. All the plans for the Block Party podcast meetup coming together for that weekend for New Orleans. If you're still wanting to join the meetup for the Chargers game, please let me know. Oh, what else is there? Big shout out to our homegirl Elise.
Shout out, Elise.
I see you doing the salute because it's 4th of July just passed. I get it. Just an incredible person who really has been with the podcast from ground up. Our first podcast meetup was at Elise's and her husband Ben's backyard. Always been incredibly supportive, loving, just an incredible person. And so her birthday was, I believe, was it yesterday? Yes, her birthday was yesterday. And just from myself, from Ryan, just thank you. We hope you had the most amazing day. And just thank you for just always showing up and being there for us. Because it means the world to us, like truly.
Always get through, always show love, always support.
Always. I remember when, 2 off seasons ago, 3 off seasons ago, maybe it was 4, when Elise was just up, like, it was always something, bro. She was always updating that calendar. The calendar just updating. And so, it's the off season. People doing their own thing in the summertime, which I get. But even when the games come back and all that happens, Elise will be back, full throttle. So hope you had a great birthday. And before we even talk about anything regarding the Saints, oh wait, I didn't even check before. I'm terrible at this when it comes to posting to. Yeah. So this is live podcasting. There you go. Man, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up what happened to the Around the NFL podcast. Like I feel like we got to talk about it because honestly, we it's not hyperbole to say that without the Around the NFL podcast, there may never have been a Saints, hashtag Saints Twitter, now Saints Block Party podcast. I remember
Not
when,
hyperbole at all, bro.
like, when our friendship started and I was working at this terrible job that I hated, I would listen to Around the NFL, weekly. Anytime they dropped a new episode, we'll listen to it. At the like genesis of our friendship, when we started like texting each other and talking about football, we were always talking about things that were said on the Around the NFL podcast. And just fast forwarding a little bit to just life is weird in the way that some of the people from that podcast, me and you were in Vegas when the Saints drafted Chris Olave. We had lunch with Greg, we had lunch with Mark, and to go from just fans, right,
Yeah.
who admired their work, like just a pillar, the best NFL podcast of all time. Period. Like dot. Period. There will never be a greater NFL podcast. And from going to listening to it as a casual viewer or even a hardcore listener to now people from that podcast becoming friends, rest in power to our dude Chris Wessling. The way that it ended, right, where they don't get to do a goodbye episode. It's just like it was just like the
Michael
court was
Thomas,
plugged.
bro.
Bruh, that's a great analogy. It's a great analogy.
But kind of worse than Michael Thomas because there was a little friction
They
with
work,
MT
brother.
going on. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like that's just crazy to me, bro. It's just, look, it's not surprising because we see it
No.
happen all over all over corporate America or whatever. But it's just, especially the TV industry right now is going through a lot of changes. But bad business, man. Like, man, that's just, how is that not bad business? Is what I want to know. I need to see like the income reports and the balance sheets and all that stuff. Make sense to me.
You already know what that looked like. That looked good as hell for the NFL, bro.
Come on, man. Like, that's just crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, man, it's like, I think I talked about it with Greg. I don't know if it was on the podcast or just talking to him, but like the whole podcast thing, this outlet, the audio outlet, is interesting because it's different. It's not like back in the day you listen to talk radio, you listen to sports radio, whatever. Those guys you listen to, they were characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is John Lee, represent blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like they were putting on a show. Whereas this format that we do and that we listen to, these podcasts and stuff, these are people, just regular people. So you get to know these people over time.
Right.
You really get to know them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just got married, or they just had kids, and they're on a vacation, or they're going through this, they're going through that. Chris Weston, we experienced him going through cancer, beating cancer, coming back from it, getting cancer again, and passing away, having a kid. We experience all these lives through this medium called podcast, and you get to know these people, and then you talk to them on Twitter, you DM each other. Next thing you know, you trade the text. Next thing, hey, I'm out in your city, let's meet up. Developing friendships and all this stuff. So it's really fascinating just how this medium that's been created, thanks to the internet and everything, just how that's just kind of changed the game. But I just hated to see it, man. I love the one podcast. I probably listened to every episode. Just felt like that was my dudes. But I know that's not the end for them. Greg Rosenthal, he gonna get it in. That boy there,
Hustle.
he about that hustle. So we know he gonna get it in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Mark, and hopefully he land on his feet. Quiet Storm. So it's gonna be interesting. Patrick Claiborne, hope everything continues to work out for him, because if he leave NFL Network, bro, I'm lighting their ass up. I'm gonna light their ass up, bro.
It's wild, right? Because their podcast has been on for 11 years. We've known each other for around, you and I known each other for around like 11, 12 years. Yeah. So, like, that medium has been like a bookmark, and it's not about us, right? It's about
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
like what they were able to do um in the podcast industry, become the standard of podcasting in football, unheard of, like
Mhm.
just unheard of. And I think you said it, like they weren't characters, they were just people with personalities, just like this podcast is people with personalities. The fact that my daughter is going to a birthday party of Greg's daughter and vice versa.
Wow.
We've gone to me and my daughter have gone to the zoo with Greg and his kids and his wife together at the LA Zoo. Like, I'm talking like real, like, friendship shit, bro. And excuse me, it's wild. It's wild and it's unfortunate. Um, I think just being like in this world in general, like nothing's a surprise. Like, so
No.
even though they didn't get a proper send off, it was shitty. The shitty part about that is nothing about that is surprising at all.
Hmm.
And you have the NFL printing it, bruh, printing money, and for them to just not even give them, a space to just clear the air
It's crazy.
when they've experienced a lot of their trauma, and losing a close friend was shared with everybody, bruh, everybody. And
Like,
it's
that's
like
crazy.
you can't even give them a proper send off.
I mean, they sell out large auditoriums in London, bro. Like when they do those like meetups over there in London when they have like the London
Yeah,
game. Like they
yeah,
selling
man.
out auditoriums, people to come see them. It's like NFL, like man, like
Gross.
gross, man. That's
Gross.
nasty work.
It is. But shout out to the Around the NFL podcast. We love y'all. We love y'all guys. We know you guys will be back and bounce back. But I had to talk about it, bro. Like, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, training camp. Training camp is what's today? 7th. So training camps. Oh man, I'm terrible at math. Go ahead. 21, that's 14. So like what?
3 weeks.
17 days ish, right? Um, in Irvine, pretty much it's pretty much been confirmed that none of the Irvine practices are going to be open. I'm not going to get
No,
on that
we we we
soapbox again.
we didn't beat that dead horse.
We have, we have. Although there now that some things have clarified with the NFL around the NFL podcast, there is a video clip that we can drop now. Anyway, um, but I wanted to steer away from talking about training camp not being open. Although one thing I want to say about that is I would like to look historically to see, and I know they're doing the two open practices in New Orleans. The Bucks are doing two open training camp practices as well. I want to see when the last time a team went somewhere, and not even go somewhere, just conducted training camp and really did open practices to the fans. I would just be fascinated to look it up because it seems
I can't remember the 2020. I can't remember how that year went.
not counting COVID. Like,
I think even that year we had fans in it. Outside of
nigga, in a full blown pandemic, nigga, there was training camp, but okay. Anyway, just make sure
I can't
you
recall.
sit 6 feet apart. So all right, okay. But with training camp on the horizon, I wanted to just get into it's that time of the season, it's that time of year. Like, football is going to start percolating a little bit. Uh, what are the things that we want to see? What are the things that you and I, and as Saints fans, because fans aren't going to be there, but what are the things that we're hoping to read from that John Hendricks practice report, from that Ross Jackson practice report? And I think part of it, I will say this, I think it is three-pronged of why the Saints don't want practice open to fans in Irvine. One, there's part of it where they're just pussy. Period. Pussy. Another part of it is just they don't care about fan engagement. Um, don't care about fan engagement. They are scared to see. They're scared that if Derek Carr maybe not look good, that the Saints fans would be vocal about it, even in Irvine.
Boo! Why'd you get booed in training camp, bro?
Bruh, I swear to God, if they were opening practices here, I was gonna try to go to like as many of them as I could, like legit, as many of them as I could. I was gonna be there. Maybe that's the fourth reason. But the third reason is just also just cheapness. Like they don't want to shell out the money regarding the facility. They just cheap. So with those three reasons, they're like, oh, it's not in the world, and blah blah. Okay, but when we're reading these reports, what do we want to see? What players are we keyed in? Of we want to see them doing well. It could be players, it could be scheme, it could be anything. Um, just an interesting topic for us to kind of talk about. This might not even be a super long episode, honestly. Just uh, Dante, Dante already got one, bro. Dante say, "Is it too much to ask to see Foskey and Turner actually in pads?"
Think you're asking a lot, bro. You know, Peyton Turner ain't wearing no pads, bro. He gonna be on that sideline. Be on that sideline, gleaming though. Hey,
Wait into the middle age white women. Oh wait, there's not fans there anymore, so he ain't waiting
oh
for no
no.
fans. All right, damn it. Just gleaming. It's funny Dante says that because actually that is one of mine. Like all joking aside, I'll say this: we got to be very careful about what comes out of training camp, um, because it happens in training camp, it happens in preseason. All these reports come out, and then when the like real football starts, sometimes it doesn't mean anything. That said, you would rather see positive reports about players and things rather than negative reports, right? I think about Bradley Roby, the year that they traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And you listen to them, like Bradley Roby had like an outstanding training camp in the nickel, bro. Like it was like he was that dude. And that was not the sole factor, but that played a big factor in why the team felt that they could trade CD Deuce and not miss a step. Now they were wrong, but that's how sometimes how players look in training camp can be a little misleading. But I'll remember back to Michael Thomas's first training camp, bro. Like all the reports from training camp was like he's that dude, like he's him, he's him,
Yep.
and he was him. So it could be good. It could be good reports, and that player lives up to those standards. It could be reports, and then those players, whatever. I just want to know what we want to see. I do want to see, to Dante's point, I want to see some positive reports about Peyton Turner. I want to see some positive reports about Isaiah Foskey. Is that going to translate to the game? Maybe not, probably not. But can I at least hear that they exist?
Please, especially Foskey. I mean, bro, I'm not even thinking on Peyton Turner at this point. He is a figment of the imagination.
To post that story to our stories on Instagram, bro.
Bleep. I saw that shit early in the morning. I was cracking up. But I just we'll see. But Foskey, like, bro, year two, man, like year two leap. You're apparently healthy. Like, come in there and light it up, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, show me something. Jesus. Chase Young, like, bro, shake back from that neck. We'll see. I expect him to start the training camp on PUP, and then like they'll transition him into the regular roster or whatever. So yeah, the fans don't freak out when Chase Young, starts on PUP. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't freak out over that. I'm sure they'll transition him slowly. Maybe he won't start out on PUP. I don't know.
Maybe he won't, man. I don't know anything about it, but it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't for whatever reason.
Right. So but just kind of prepare yourself. But yeah, bro. But obviously, number one for me is the backup quarterback position, that number 2 battle between, incumbent Jake Hayner and Spencer Rattler. I want to see if Spencer Rattler, he took his lumps in in OTAs and minicamp.
He did.
Head was spinning a little bit. Had this downtime to get himself together. Gonna come in training camp. Go ahead, some pads on, padded practices. Uh, you know,
He was
show
practicing.
time.
He was practicing with Debo Samuels. I'm just saying. I don't see
And I
certain.
saw that. I saw that. Russell was like, "Hey, man, like, let's get it in." I'm not saying, like, put some pressure. Like, just put some pressure. I want to see some. The way he threw that ball. I want to see some
Right.
Spencer Rattler reports, man. Some positive stuff. I don't want to see some of this shaky, that he looking shaky and all that. I want to see some positive Spencer Rattler reports and Jake Hayner. I want to
Yes.
see Jake Hayner continue to elevate his game. I want to see him looking good in the scheme. That's I'm not worrying about Carr. Carr is Carr. He's QB1 for now. But if they could, but this is the time that Rattler and Hayner could start putting those little pebbles
tease it down.
in the seasons of doubt and Clint Kubiak and all that. Man, that boy looking kind of good over there. So,
Ball coming out of his hand quick.
just saying. But that's what I can't wait to read.
Those are good. Those are both good. I think for me, I just want to see growth from Spencer Rattler. I think you hit on it.
Right.
Like he did not have good OTA. Besides like one OTA, or it was rookie. It was like the rookie OTA or rookie mini camp. After that, he struggled quite a bit. And I just want to see growth from him. Of him, like you say, he took his lumps and that he's grown from it, and he's has a better grasp on the offense, what they're asking him to do, all of that. Let's see. I'm going to the chat real quick. Jay Sean said, I want to see something from Kendre Miller, especially if this is AK's last year on the team. Yeah. Our dude Julio says, and if Bresee grows into the potential he's shown. Yeah. That's another player who's coming off injury, like a kind of like surprise injury that we didn't even know he was really injured. And he got surgery in the off season.
Yeah. I was kind of like not talking about much. I was like, oh.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? At all. Apparently he played through that stuff too all last year. Like, so it was kind of like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
They got a player in him, bro. They got a player in him.
I really believe. I don't worry about him that much. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like how good he could be, I don't know, but I don't worry about him as a player.
Oh, that's a good question. How good could Bryan Bresee be? Because he had like six seconds of rookie, something like
four and a half.
Four and a half from an interior defensive lineman.
And a couple taken back.
I gotta think on that. We'll come back to that. Maybe not on this episode. We'll come back to that. I gotta really think about how good potentially Bryan Bresee could be. Our dude Tony says can be hard to evaluate the offensive line, but let's see Penning and Fuaga, and let's see how Penning and Fuaga do. Yes, I think that's very like this. The team is banking on Fuaga being able to make the switch, and I get it. He played a little bit, but this is a switch for him. I don't care what anyone says. They're banking on him making the switch to left tackle as a rookie, and Penning at most being serviceable at right tackle and kind of giving him the clean slate. It's good. Like, I'll say this about that. Typically, like offensive line, defensive line battles get very like mundane as training camp goes on. I think we'll see that more in the preseason.
Exactly.
And in the joint practices, because they're going against different pass rushers. They're going against different schemes, and teams you typically keep it pretty vanilla, but still.
The San Francisco joint practice is going to be really fascinating. Like
15th to the 16th, and then I think that's right off the top of my head, and they play on the 18th. Um, I'll be there at the preseason game on the 18th. Our dude Eric, who that homo is going to be there. So me and Jay are going. It's going to be fun, and I'll get to see up close how the team looks. One training camp battle. I have two. I want to see, and I don't know how this is quantified or how it will look, but I want to see Chris Olave take that next step. I want to see him coming out of training camp talked about as if, okay, yeah, all right, year three of Chris Olave gonna be special. Like I want that to be the buzz coming out from training camp for Chris Olave. And then another, like the to me, the two matchups in terms of like battles in camp that are super interesting to me is the battle at kicker with Groupie and Smith, and the battle for slot corner between Kool-Aid McKinstry and Alante Taylor.
Yeah.
That battle is gonna, just like Alante versus Debo was last season. That battle is gonna be the most interesting battle all of training camp.
So interesting, man. So interesting. I can't call it. I have no idea how that's going to shake out. No idea. All I know is Marshawn Lattimore going to be on a left side, and Adebo going to be on the right. That's
That's all.
it. That's all I know. Everything else, I don't know, man. We haven't seen Kool-Aid do anything yet because he's recovering from the foot. He should be ready to go. All ready to go come training camp. Alante, we talked about how, the coaching staff is kind of up and down on him. So it's kind of up to him to come in and like own that position. Whether that's slot, whatever, he has to own it. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna play out, bro. I really don't.
I don't either. And I think, like, if you just break them down, like as a pure corner, like if you're just talking about from the cornerback perspective, it's hard. It's like, for me, it's still kind of hard to like discount Alante's rookie season on the outside because he played so well. But in terms of like prospect, in terms of like overall corner, I would guess that you would give that edge to Kool-Aid, like technician, all that. In terms of athleticism and what have you, then it's Alante, right?
Size.
And size. There you go. That to me is going to be a fascinating battle. It really, really is. Because if Alante doesn't win that battle and Kool-Aid wins it, he's gonna be depth, behind the rest of the corners. But other than that, like, I don't think they have a role for him if he doesn't win that slot corner battle, bro.
Yeah, he has to have in his mind that, I'm getting on the field regardless. Whether it's, look, put me at safety, coach. Put me at free, put me at strong, put me at nickel, I'll do anything. You got to have that mindset. And, he kind of has that kind of little bit of immaturity. It's not that he doesn't love, he obviously loves the game of football and stuff like that. But,
Right.
he gotta have that, like, man, I'm coming in here, I'm a dog, I'm about to play. I'm playing. You got to come in there with that mentality instead of, from what I heard, he was like, man, he ain't really want to play slot last year, from what I understand. He ain't really want to play it. But he did it, he had to do his job. But as far as like diving into the playbook, diving into the tape, if you play slot corner, man, you have to be really smart.
Ooh,
You have
yes.
to be really smart because you have to understand the two-way goals. You have to understand all the different route concepts, the option routes, and all that stuff. You have to understand the run game because you're a force player in the run game. You're a pressure player also. You're the one that's most likely to pressure the quarterback. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to really understand the game. That's why some of the older corners you see move to the slot. Some people think it's because they lose speed. That's part of it, but a lot of it's just because they're so smart. And you have to know so
Yep.
much. Where you play on the outside, it's hard. Like, it's obviously super difficult, but you
Right.
just got to cover your guy. You know what I'm saying? You're covering your guy. Period. That's what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. But you come from the slot, bro. It's a lot that goes into it. So I'm gonna need him to just kind of elevate. And look, you're going against a rookie, and I mean, he's gonna be at a new position too. Because he's played mostly outside of Alabama, Kool-Aid McKinstry. So,
Right.
that's going to be it's a battle, bro. Like that's going to be like the fascinating battle
Fascinating,
because
bro.
nobody knows, like nobody's a shoe in to win it or nothing. It's just like straight up battle.
Yes. All those things you said about the slot, 100% accurate. It's still why to this day I feel like as Saints fans, we maybe not all, but I feel like after the CD Deuce trade happened, people really underrated and didn't give him enough credit for how good of a player he was.
Early too, like he just came in good.
As a rookie, bro. He came in as a rookie and was a starting slot and played exceptionally well. And then got better as time went on, year two, what have you. So anyway, anything else that you want to see come out of training camp?
Not so much player, but I just want to hear the overall environment of practice. How long are the practices? Are they using all their time? Are these practices physical? Are they getting after it? Like Irvine, the weather's supposed to be a little better than New Orleans around that time. We'll see, but
it will be.
So, got to work at it, man. Like everything I read, the winning coaches, Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, all those, man, they get after it in practice, bro. They get after it. And look, under DA, man, it's just been feeling kind of lax to me. I don't know. It's feeling kind of lax. So I just want to hear some good stuff about them get at. Maybe Kubiak, since he's coming in and changing the culture as an assistant coach, coming in and, creating accountability and all that. Let's see it. Let's see it.
How you gonna hire offensive coordinator? He the one coming in and changing the coach. It made no sense to me, bro. It don't make no sense. Jay Sean also said, I want to see something from the receivers behind Olave and Shaheed. Depth is looking kind of bad, talent wise.
Specifically, we talked about it with Scott Buska we had on last week. Please go listen to that episode if you haven't.
Please.
Super fascinating. But like you talk about that middle of the field, that's gone with Mike Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Like that player we had with Mike Thomas, that's gone. So we need somebody to kind of fill that shoes, that possession, short intermediate area of the field. The concepts wasn't there last year with Pete Carmichael. The execution wasn't there with Derek Carr. So it's like they need to figure it out. They need the player to figure it out. They need the quarterback to figure it out. They need the scheme to figure it out. It's going to be there by the scheme. Like Clint Kubiak's scheme will give you that. We'll give you over the middle passes in the intermediate and short area. But we need the type of players to do it. Who is that going to be? A.T. Perry? I mean, I assume you would think.
Right.
Maybe Bub Mean got, come in and take, I don't know. Maybe it's Cedric Wilson. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting battle, man. Like that third spot is going to be super fascinating.
You know what would be nice? And this is something else. And this is something I want to see coming out of training camp. I want to see AK used more in the passing game. I would like to see them using formations where both AK and Kendre Miller are in the game at the same time, on the field at the same time. Like,
gimme.
Could we not have a formation where potentially you have Olave on the outside, you have Shaheed on the outside on the right, Olave on the outside on the left, you have AK essentially like slot going against a linebacker or a safety, and you got Kendre in the backfield.
Taste some.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Kroger Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.
Ooh-wee.
Just saying.
is Alvin Kamara going to be a disgruntled player in training camp? You know,
Oh,
like
that's right. That's right.
I don't know. You know, do they smooth that out? Do they give him a new contract, or does he come in and be like, well, look, I'm gonna play my final year and see what happened? Like, I don't know. How's that gonna work?
You like this is not talking about training camp specifically, but we were talking about this in our Discord. If you not are part of the Saints Block Party podcast Discord, become a Patreon, get you
Come on,
access.
man. I mean,
Uh,
$1 a month, that Discord worth that alone. Just the Discord alone, dollar
no,
a month.
I know there's some degenerates out there that be spending a lot more money on a certain platform called OnlyFans. You telling me?
Hey, we ain't judging.
We ain't judging.
We
No,
ain't judging at all.
no, never that. Never that. I'm just saying.
$1?
So
You can't even get a McDonald's hash brown for $1, bro.
nigga, you can't get a large drink at a McDonald's for $1 anymore, bro.
No more, bro. They gonna charge you for water.
Uh, I'll get back to the point about the Discord. Dante asked, "Will Willie Gay make Pete Warner sweat?"
Yeah.
He will. I do.
Yeah.
I do think, and this is what I've been told. If I think Ross Jackson's alluded to this a bit. They really have this plan where they want to get both linebackers, or all three linebackers on the field.
Yeah.
I think their plan is essentially have Pete and Willie Gay be like the traditional linebacker types, and if on like pass rushing downs, using DeMario as like an extra rusher, which is weird to me because you would think you would have DeMario and Pete be the traditional linebackers, and use Willie Gay like that because like that's what he did well in Kansas City. I don't know, bro.
I don't know. I mean, DeMario's outstanding rusher. So
he is.
That. But, you know, Willie Gay is apparently good at that too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to figure all that out. But I know they want to get him on the field. I know that much. You know what I'm saying? So what packages maybe they bring? Maybe they take Tyrann off. Maybe, I don't know.
No clue. Getting back to the whole point I was making on the Discord. You kind of went through the numbers. Tony says, I wonder if we might use some 3-3-5 and passing down to let DeMario rush more often. I think that's definitely part of their thinking of something that they want to do.
I think we lead the league, or we top of the league as far as rushing 3. So that wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Discord, you talked about how financially coming up cap-wise for the Saints, not a lot of players. The only two that stick out in terms of them paying is Adebo and Chris Olave. Other than that, there's not a lot of players coming down the line that you would think that need to get paid or maybe is worth paying.
Right.
They gonna have, man. These next two off seasons, bruh, it's gonna be like you getting the tax return and you got like 3-5 kids as dependents, bruh. Like it's gonna be a lot different. And I should preface by saying that's assuming Derek Carr is cut. That's assuming AK is gone. That's assuming Jamal Williams is gone. That's assuming Demario Davis is gone. And I know like those are like big pieces. Also probably assuming that Cam Jordan's gone, right? That's a lot of former great talent, but a lot of money that's going to come off the books and clear up a lot of money for the team. That's the thing that worries me.
Yeah.
That worries me in the sense of when you have money and it's burning a hole in your pocket, are you responsible with that money or do you just go out and splurge?
It's dangerous, man. It's very dangerous. You know, I mean, look, the cap nerds been screaming for it for years, you know, like by 2026, the Saints should be loaded with cap space. They just won't have any players. It's like, what do you rather have, cap space or players? Like, give me the players. Like, one of the biggest misconceptions is the Saints, like, they're terrible at cap management because they gave all this money to, like all these free agents. No, they signed. They had a historic draft, 2016, 2017. They drafted, Michael Thomas, top player at his position. 2017, Marshawn Lattimore, top player at his position. Alvin Kamara, top player at his position. Who else was in that draft?
Marcus
Like
Williams,
Marcus
Ryan
Williams, Ryan
Ramczyk,
Ramczyk, top players at their position that had to get paid.
Trey
Not just
Hendrickson.
paid. Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson, who then got paid, he had two last seasons with the Saints.
So it's like, then you had dudes like Cam Jordan, Teron Armstead. We still was carrying Drew Brees. So you had all these players that
probably still carrying Jairus Byrd contract too.
Still paying Jairus Byrd. So it's like that's where a lot of the money went. DeMario Davis, a lot of these really good players that had to get paid, man. And like I don't see any problem with that. I'd rather that than the issue that will be coming up is we ain't got no players to play. It's like who you want to pay? You know what I'm saying? Like Ruiz, he already paid. Like everybody else is. No, like we don't know if you're gonna be on the team in a year or two. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just goes to show, they've done a rough job at drafting and developing. You know what I'm saying?
It's been bad, bro. It's been
bad, man.
Terrible.
That's the proof in the pudding.
Mark G goes, I hated losing Trey Hendrickson and Von Bell. Yeah. I mean, so listen, Sean wanted to right or wrong with Michael Jenkins, which played a big factor into them and Von Bell being, them not bringing him back, and they brought back Michael Jenkins because you listen to Sean, that's his biggest regret he's done as a coach. And I'm just like, that? Like, listen, I get it. Like, that was a regret. I don't know if that's like the biggest, but I digress. Him and not Gronkowski, Nikovich, Rob Nikovich. Jay Sean says teams finna look a real different in the next 2 years. It will, and the point I'm wanting to know, and this is beyond training camp, this is beyond even this season, is how patient Gail's gonna be, because we've seen different avenues of trying to build a good team. I think historically we've seen that you cannot just buy free agents and just put a good, and that's going to lead to a good team. It's honestly just going to go back to what it was the last two seasons that the Saints came into prominence. 2006 had an amazing draft class. 2017 had an amazing draft class. Those draft class set up the whole future for those two runs, which led to a Super Bowl. Probably should have at least been 3, but here we are. So the focus has to be on drafting great players. And then, like you said in our Discord as well, focus also has to be on, if Spencer Rattler ain't it, if Jake Haener ain't it, we need the guy in the building. And that's why the biggest thing, this entire offseason, biggest thing that's like was just like a huge thing to me. And I don't care. I'm not discrediting what John Hendricks heard. I'm not discrediting what Underhill heard. But what I can say, what I know is that the report that came out that the Saints tried to trade into the top 10 to draft Michael Penix Jr. was legit. That was real. To me, that told me everything. Now, you also got to assume with that report that the thing I took away when I heard that is, one, they felt like he was one of the best players in the draft. 2, the other thing I took away is that they also knew that Derek Carr was not the answer. And no matter how this season goes, the fact that they knew that going into this past offseason, and they might even know it more so going into next offseason, depending on how the season goes. To me, it seems bleak, but honestly, it's very much hopeful. Because if you can see it and you can identify the problem, you can start trying to work on fixing the problem. When you're so adamant that there isn't a problem, that's when you have issues.
Right. Absolutely, man. And look, I mean, we'll see how that plays out, but man, it's like Go get an answer at quarterback. And look, even this year, I mean, they drafted a quarterback this past season, and he drafted one last season. So it's
They did.
I mean, there's never, not in my memory, I don't think they've ever had two drafted quarterbacks as
Back to back
backups.
years.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
back-to-back years, and like it's them. Like I'm not worrying about no damn Peterman and all them. Like I'm not, not even worried about them. Like they have been investing. They maybe not investing highly, but they have been investing in the position, and they need an answer there. They need a guy there, bro. Whether that's Ewers next year or whatever. I don't know who it's gonna be, but like them scouts need to be working on it now. Like they need to be at summer games or whatever. They need to be
Send the niggas to a Sanders rap concert, nigga. I don't care.
everything. Everywhere. I won't know. Like, because that's the ultimate puzzle piece. We talk about, the players that don't have no players to play and all that stuff. You get that quarterback right, bro. That changes the game for you, bro. Changes the game.
It changes the game for the franchise. It changes the game for just the watching experience, bro. Like,
Yeah.
because at least it's like, ooh, ooh. Bro, I know if they draft like a good quarterback, I just know Chris Olave just gonna roll to his knees and just say, "Thank you, Jesus." Like
Thank you.
I have seen Lord, I have seen what you've done for others.
Andy Dalton and man.
Jameis and Derek Carr.
Derek Carr screaming at you, bro. Like, what?
Play with CJ Stroud and Justin Fields and John Tupon. I know he just was just disgusted, bro. Just disgusted. Eddie the Don said they better be at the Manning Passion Academy everywhere, bro. I'm opening this up to the chat, and then I'm going to get to the question that our dude Brock has been answering or asking us to answer. Anything else anyone has that they just want to see from training camp or see coming out of training camp? Trying to think, is there anything else that I would love there to be an actual punter battle. I would love that, because going into the season with Lou Hetley again at punter. Oh, Eddie said Holker. Yes, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, the tight end room. Period. Like
yes.
We need answers.
because Juwan Johnson, he probably might not even be ready for week one. Like, speaking of Pup, like that's a player that for sure may. Brian, don't look at me like that, bro. He got a legitimate injury, bro. He don't know when he got it. It still don't make sense to me, bro. Still don't make sense to me, bro. Like you said, the tight end room in general with Holker, was it Michael Jacobson, with Foster Moreau? I still think come week one, there's a chance that Holker could be starting, bro, or like at least in two tight end sets. In Michael Jacobson is like, that's crazy. Like that in of it itself would be like assuming that he plays well, would be such a steal to be able to get a player like that in undrafted free agency.
Oh yeah.
Every year we feel like we have like the next great like hope from like an undrafted free agent tight end. It never works out. Jay Sean said I heard some of the undrafted free agent safeties were making plays during mini camp. Is there any chance that they make the final roster? We got to see how it play out. Our dude Scotty said, "I'm so excited to see the offense is going to look like. I just want it to be exciting." Yes, and to be fair, like I don't think we're going to see anything from the offense of what it's going to look like until week one against Carolina. And even then, I don't think we'll have a full idea. Obviously, we'll have a better picture. It won't be the full idea. Anything that we see or that we read, really, because we're not going to really be able to see anything, but anything that we read from training camp reports and that we see in preseason, it's going to be very vanilla, basic. We're probably not going to be able to read too much. Eddie asked who the left guard is going to be. I think Tony asked that too. I really think as of right now, it's shaping up to be our dude Nick Salaverde, aka Nick Salaverde. Salaverde, get that green sauce on it,
Like, that's another position is just kind of keep an eye on how, because we don't have no idea,
None.
how well he is. He speaks well. Every time I see an interview, like, man, it sounds like a good offensive lineman, but, we'll see.
I like how we're talking all this about training camp. Not one thing has been said about Trevor, or not Trevor, about Ryan Ramchick. Bro. Like I think we all know.
Everybody knows, man. Like, it's not even a question at this point.
No, it's not. Our dude Brock in the Discord has been asking us, like, was it our top 5 or the? I think it's the best. He wants to know what the best Hans Zimmer score is.
Mm.
Is it has to be the best or top 5? Oh no, he said ranked top 5.
Should have prepped me for this one.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Top 5. Let me see if I
Number
can.
one. What you doing? You pulling up a list?
I'm writing my top 5 down because I gotta write it down.
Number one, man, it's tough, bro. I think I'm gonna go with Time from Inception.
Okay.
But it's tough, man, because that Man of Steel,
Cool.
boy. Another one. This was before I even knew who Hans Zimmer was. The score from Crimson Tide.
Okay.
Movie with Denzel Washington and
Yep. Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman. Boy, that before I even knew who Hans Zimmer was, I was like, boy, this shit is fire. So I'm gonna go Time 1, Man of Steel 2, the Dark Knight theme. Is it Mambusa? What is the name of it?
Oh, I know. I listened to it earlier. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I think I might go with that.
Monolasis?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with that 3. There's another one from Interstellar. Not Interstellar. I mean Inception. There's another one from Inception. Also Interstellar. The one where the docking scene.
Oh, yep.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There's so many.
That one's I think it's attached.
I think so.
I think that one's attached.
No Time for Caution or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote my 5. Okay. My number 1 is Stay from Interstellar.
Oh man.
My number
right
2. Woo! My number 2 is Man of Steel. 3 is Time from Inception. 4 is like the Dark Knight theme, and then 5 for me is like the actual Interstellar theme, which I think is Day 1, maybe. Oh, the Interstellar theme. I'm just gonna keep it simple. So those are my 5. On the spot, kind of on my 5. I'm gonna see Hans October 1st. Might faint. Might need someone to come to be with me to revive me. Just been a long time. Mark, you said
many good ones.
So many. I'm thinking Kendrick Miller is gonna have a huge year. Thoughts? I think he can have a good year if he can stay healthy. That's really what it boils down to. That's it. Because this offense is literally made for a player like Kendrick Miller.
You would think, right? You would think.
Yeah. At least I would say maybe not the offense. The running game scheme seemed to be made for Kendrick Miller.
But then it seemed like he was buried, this off season. So it was like, what's going on here? So I don't know. I forgot to mention with the Hans Zimmer, a couple of tracks off the Lion King.
Yes.
Like the Mufasa scene when he gets deleted. That whole score, the Stampede score and all that. Man, bro, I had the Lion King soundtrack on tape back in the day, cassette tape. I used to run that thing back so many times, bro.
Old as shit, man. try going to like a mall and showing a kid a cassette tape right now and ask them what the fuck it is. They have no idea, no clue.
Like my niece, they would have no idea what that is. Like, what is this?
None. Last question. Eddie asks, is A.T. Perry the wide receiver 3?
I don't know, man. Should
be. Maybe. Him, Cedric Wilson. I would say, like, if you're just looking for like a leader in the doghouse, not the doghouse, like leader in the house to be wide receiver 3, I would really think it would be A.T. Perry. Someone asked, "Sup with the sausage party?" I don't know, Dick Trickle. I just like sausage. I don't know. Like, who doesn't like sausage?
Love it, man. Eat me
Anyway.
a Blizzy. Oh, shit.
Oh, with the quickness, bro. They have it to like science out here, bro. You leave any venue in LA, and I'm pretty sure it's not just LA, but like it's different LA. You leave Staples, you leave SoFi, Forum, whatever venue you leave, bro. They lined up like an army, just boom, 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 just bacon wrapped, just marked territory.
Hey.
And they just hot dog, and so delicious. I will say inflation is completely just where you can just get a bacon wrap hot dog for like $4, $5 now, paying like 9,
Texas,
10,
What?
11, bro.
Oh, come on, man.
I know, bro. I know. Anyway, thank whoever, I think either Dante or our dude Mark, whichever moderator, just on top of great moderating duties in the chat, in the YouTube chat. We appreciate it. Yeah, they taking care of Dick Trickle for us. Sorry, let me get that correct. Anyway, thank y'all for joining on such short notice. It's good. Thank you, Dante. Dante said he got his ass out of it. Thank y'all for joining on short notice. We appreciate it. We just wanted to talk football, Saints. I know training camp starts on the 24th, I believe. I forget what day the rookies report. They report a couple of days before training camp actually starts.
18th or something like that.
Yeah, there's something like that. But Mark asked if there's going to be interest in Hunter Renfrow. I hope not. I don't like. To me, I don't want any snaps going to Hunter Renfrow. I would prefer them just going to the guys in house. But memes, A.T. Perry, Cedric Wilson, St. Brown, whoever, right? Just I don't need to go to Hunter Renfrow. Don't need it. But thank y'all for joining. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back this upcoming week. Hope everyone has a great week. Hope everyone had a great, safe 4th of July holiday weekend. Rooting for America. Tough these days. Joe said he ain't going nowhere.
Dicey, boy. Oh.
Bro, what date is the election? Because I know the Saints Falcons game is the 10th of November, bro.
I think it's like that week, that previous Tuesday. So there's gonna be some interesting moods. I bet it's fun regardless.
Bro, letting this shitty country fucking mess up our big thing we do every year.
I mean, unless it's World War III. Unless it's World War III breaking out of Civil War or some shit.
I'm good, bro. No, I'm not good. Like, it's gonna be terrible. It's just gonna be to the dark days where I'm waking up, looking at Twitter, I'm laughing, and I'm texting you like, "This is hilarious," but also, are we about to die at the same time? It was a terrible way of existing for 4 years, bro. Wayne said November 5th. So election day is November 5th, bro. I'm flying to New Orleans November 7th.
Oh. We'll see.
We
see.
We will. We ain't letting nothing stop our vibe that weekend at all.
Yeah, no.
We ain't letting it happen. So Like Wayne said, it's Falcons hate week regardless. So anyway, thank y'all for joining. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We will try to do an episode. Well, we will do an episode this coming week. Don't know on what yet, but we'll do one. So thank y'all for being along for the ride. Like, subscribe. Kind of weird. I'm saying this at the end, but like, subscribe on YouTube and any other platforms. With that, we're out.
Peace.